Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Safe Room. I am your host, the President Sean Williams. We're back here at Borough of Power and Light. I want to give you a quick shout out, though. You're so ready to leave. Come on now.
He was like, "You gotta get me out of here."
Shout out to Jeff for allowing us to have this space. Beautiful space.
Whee!
Yes, of course. Yeah, there you go. I love it. You love to see it.
Thank you for blessing our space.
Appreciate it.
I will leave you be.
All right, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and today we have a special guest. Listen, okay, quick story. This episode should have dropped weeks ago, but there was a little technical difficulties. But that's why I think certain things happen for a certain reason. Mm-hmm. And because of that, instead of doing it online, we're here in person. And we have a wonderful woman, such a vibrant personality. Like, honestly, like I would say for myself, I like to show myself as a open person. She kind of breaks my scale completely. She breaks my scale. Like, yeah. Look. Listen, man. She's an artist. She's a creative. She's anything that you want to define, but just know she is unapologetic with herself. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Jäjé. How are you doing?
Thank you. That was such a beautiful intro. Thank you for that.
Of course. Listen, it's my job to make my guests feel comfortable, all right?
Period.
Man, I love it. So, yeah, again, like, welcome to the space.
Thank you for having me. It's really cute in here. I'm not gonna lie.
Of course.
It makes all the hiccups 100% worthwhile. I feel like this is gonna be. I mean, like, it was really a vibe when we started online, but I think this is gonna be like even more of a vibe, like, you know, like times 1,000.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna be like much more louder.
Oh
on
yeah,
this.
absolutely.
Honestly, like the way we're positioned, guys, like there's a window. Legit, I would not be surprised if people walking by. They're like, "Yo, what are these two on?
Who are these two people?
What are they on?" Nah, but listen, again, like we're gonna vibe out. Listen, we're gonna talk about you, just your artistic journey. Yeah. We're gonna talk about a lot of important things when it comes to, like, you know, self manifestation. I think that's such an important topic. Yeah. So like we're gonna get into it, and like I mentioned before, guys, we tried to do this online, and yeah, honestly, I think God wasn't having it.
No, absolutely not. God was like, y'all can do better.
Yeah.
I know my children can do better. Mm-hmm. So y'all about to go do better. Right the fuck now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Come on now. Come on. It's a safe room. Come on.
No, because, you know, sometimes they want to be what you call it? It's PG-13. Mm-hmm, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Hey, listen, for the kids, just skip this episode.
Come back in a couple years.
Yeah.
Give it a decade.
Yeah. But now listen, again, we're it's a free space, safe space. That's the whole point of it. We're here to show love, give a shining light to artists like yourself. So again, I'm really excited to have this conversation. But you know what we got to start with, guys? We got to start off with our top segment, the hot seat. The hot seat. So I got the questions right here. Listen, is this probably the first time I'm doing the hot seat, like, you know, in person? Because most of the time it's like.
Wait, you need to put like a round of applause in the back here. Like,
I wish, bro. Listen, the budget doesn't. We don't have that stuff yet. It's coming.
Yo, rip that shit from YouTube. Rip the little shit from YouTube.
It's just like the hard cut with the applause. It's like, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. So
yeah, still hot seat.
Yes. So we, obviously, for questions, just make sure you answer them to your best ability. Okay, here we go. So question number 1. So outside the work you do as an artist, as a creative, tell me something about yourself in one sentence.
I am infinite. Boom.
That's it?
Yeah, I'm infinite. I have infinite possibilities. I mean, if you want me to give you more than a sentence, I could give you more than a sentence.
I mean, the last time we talked, you were giving a whole paragraph, a whole lecture.
We can go back over that. So, I mean, one of the things that I said was, or the phrase that I said was, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but a master of none is better than a master of one, which basically just sort of, it's a fancy way of being like, somebody, just because you are good at multiple things, it doesn't mean that you are less valuable than somebody who's focused on one thing in their whole entire life. And quite frankly, when you're more versatile, you're worth more in terms of, you know, if you want to quantify yourself. But, you know, your value goes up. You have more to offer. You can create at a different depth. And so that was my answer last time, but I don't know. I don't want to give you like the
Guys,
same thing. I'm not that, you know.
Guys, what's better? What's better, the whole master scheme and everything, or I'm infinite? I ain't gonna say nothing. I mean,
Oh my God, stop! But I mean, okay. Realistically, though, they both touch on the same
yeah,
things.
it's like
you
a
know
cohesion.
What I mean? Yes.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Exactly.
All right,
So
perfect. Hey, listen, I'm not hating. I'm hating. It's just like I wanted people to hear, because again, like,
I know
this was behind doors and it didn't get to be pushed out.
I know, and it was like so eloquent the way that I said it, but I'm the kind of person like, it's just like from God's lips to my ears to my mouth, like that's it, like that's how it goes, you know. So I'm not really like I'm gonna replicate this moment kind of person.
Right, I love it.
It doesn't feel real.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, perfect,
yeah.
perfect. Cool. Let's go on to the next question. So, question number 2: your most nerve-wracking performance you ever did?
Right. Most nerve-wracking performance would definitely be. I have 2. So the first one we talked about last time was the Phoenix Center, and that one was nerve-wracking just for the simple fact that it was something that I had wanted for a really long time. I grew up across the street from the Phoenix Center, and just like in and around like downtown Toronto, like growing up,
right?
And just, you know, I also went to church on that block too. Shout out to anybody that knows what church I went to, but well, everybody's going to know now that I said it. But anyways. But, yeah. So just like constantly being in that area, growing up there, seeing all the things that happened in the Phoenix Center, seeing all the liveliness and, you know, knowing the kinds of things that went on in there. I always was like, I just had an affinity to want to be in there, and I never really knew why. And then when I started being an artist, I was like, I have to perform there. Like, I have to perform there. I have to perform my own original music. And I was like so specific about what I wanted. And then a year later, through this organization called Honey Jam, I was actually given the opportunity to do just that. And I had a set, I think it was like 10 minutes or so. And I was able to, you know, go up there and do my thing during the panty.
Right.
Yeah. But it was really nerve-wracking just because of like, it felt like the culmination of like my entire life basically coming into one moment, and just like walking through the halls and just like seeing all the memorabilia on there, and just like knowing that so many like great, amazing performers have walked those halls, have performed on that stage, or about to perform on that stage, you know, because I'm me, but you know, like, and will continue. And it was like so many just different pieces and things and emotions coming together. So it was nerve-wracking for the right reasons. And then I would say that my other nerve-wracking performance would be Manifesto. It was probably like the quote-unquote biggest performance I've done as like a recording artist, performing artist in this sense. And it was because it's a festival, right? And it's everybody, and everybody in Toronto like goes to Manifesto. Like everybody knows about it. Like it's a big thing. Like if you're an artist, before I was even doing artist things, like I was hearing about Manifesto.
Right.
And so again, through Honey Jam, I was able to get an opportunity to perform in 2021, which was when they had it at the City View Drive-In, which was that whole experience. It was like a whole thing. I learned a lot, but it was really nerve-wracking because it just felt like, again, another monumental moment. Like in 2019, I was standing in Manifesto, literally at the front, because me and my friend had like been there all day waiting because Ari Lennox was performing that year. And so we were like, we're going early as fuck because we want to be right there. I'm like, I want to make eye contact with Ari when she comes through. Hell yeah. And like, just to pause, she literally, as a performer, is so fucking captivating.
Yeah.
Her vocals are just so crisp and so clean. She literally sang to me.
Listen, I like not even
not
even to cut you off. I don't know if it's just me. Like when I hear Ari Lennox, I get like vocal inflections of Fantasia. Is it just me? Okay.
No, she's there. Like
yeah.
she's there. She's there.
When she hits that octave too. Like I feel it.
Yep. It's the soul, baby. It's the soul. So yeah, and I just remember being at Manifesto and like seeing all the really dope performers. I saw Adria Kane at Manifesto, and after seeing Adria Kane, I was like, I gotta get up on that stage. Because the way that she just had, or they had so much. I don't know what their pronouns are, so I'm gonna just use they. But the way that they had so much fun on the stage, I wanted them motherfucker trip on a water bottle and not miss a note. What the fuck? So just like seeing that, and I just wanted to be around it. And so again, being able to have those dreams sort of just like come through and manifest just meant the world to me, because they were, at the time, they were my biggest dreams. And then after they happened, I was like, oh fuck, I need some bigger dreams.
It's like, I need to step my game up. Step your weight up, dog.
God was like, baby, that was easy. What's next?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
But you said one important word, manifest.
Yes.
Listen, guys, if there's something you want to do, don't feel like you can't do it. Put it out in the world and put the work in, and you will find your dreams right there. Like, listen, for me, like, I always told myself, yo, if I get the chance to do this podcast, I'm gonna reach 100 episodes, and like, lo and behold, it, guys, we're itching there. We're getting close. We're getting close. So like, again, it's so important to have that manifestation in your life, because it gives you something to wake up every morning and look forward to. You know, sometimes you wake up, you always tell yourself, what am I gonna do? I don't know. Like, I'm just gonna do something that roll with the punch. Like, that was legit my entire high school and university story. It's like, what the heck I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to class. All right, cool. And then in the pandemic, I just decided, F it. Let me just go and start something that I'm passionate about. Like, I like to talk to people. What could I do where it involves talking to people a lot? I'm like, podcast. Like, okay, cool. I have some experience. And then bada bing, bada boom.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Guys, come on. The stars align.
Pew, 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 pew.
I love it. All right, cool. The third question. So, an interesting fact that you rarely share.
Oh, yes. An interesting fact that I rarely share. So, interesting fact that I rarely share is that I have saved somebody's life before.
Hold on, guys. Like, hold on. One more time. They need to hear this, because like, you told me this. I was like, hey, yo, like.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have saved somebody's life before. And it basically was a situation where this person ended up in a place where they shouldn't have, i.e. water, and they couldn't swim, didn't know how to swim. And it was like, it's hard to explain, but there was like ice and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
A part of the lake was unfrozen, and so they slipped into it. And there was no adults around. And this was when I was probably like 11, 12. And yeah, there was no adults around. It was just this person and someone that was like a family member of theirs. And I was far away enough so that I could see, but like far away enough that I kind of had to like run. And so like when I saw like the flailing in the arms and shit like that, I just started like booking it. And then like immediately like my lifeguard training, because I used to swim at the YMCA up until like elementary school from like a really young age. So we did a lot of like lifeguard training and stuff like that the higher up that I went, and that 100% just kicked in, and I just like laid flat on the ice, pulled her out, you know, and then we just like got her inside and like got her warm and stuff like that. But there was so much tea so it was like, this happened at like a church event. I'm spilling so much tea right now. Jesus. So this happened at a church event, and after it happened, because there was no adults around, they basically tried to like get us to like, you know, do a little hush hush. Do a little hush hush. So I don't know how many people really know about this story other than the people that were immediately there. But yeah, that happened, and they definitely tried to shove it under the rug and a whole bunch of other things that surrounded it. But yes, that's the story of how I saved somebody's life.
There's a lot to unpack from there.
Yeah, I know.
No, but like that's amazing. Like, I even told you at the time being, I'm like, yo, how come you don't share that with a lot of people? Because it's like, but I think I do admire how like just the humility, just being humble, just like, I don't need to really throw out information like that just to get a cheap pop or reaction.
No, and it's not like I did that for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I saw cameras and I was like, oh, I'm going to save this person because there's cameras there. Like, no. Like, it was just, the moment called for me to help, and God placed me in that moment right where I needed to be. And it was funny. Like, I wasn't even close to these people. Like, we were all kind of walking back from somewhere else on the lake. And so that's why there wasn't any adults around, because we kind of sort of split up, and there were people like miles behind me and like miles in front of me. And I was walking with the people behind, and I just started walking like out of nowhere. I just said, let me try to catch up to the people in front, who happened to be one of the people who ended up needing help. And then, so it was just like, I was just glad more than anything that I was able to help and be able to be used in that manner for that moment. But I think the reason why For me, it's less about, well, now it's a humility thing because I'm like, it's not something I want to like lead with like that.
Right.
But at the time, because it was so like everybody's like we're not allowed to tell the church members. You're not allowed to tell anybody. Like don't. They told us not to tell our parents. They told us not to tell our parents. And I was like, oh fuck that. Do mommy. Because I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Like somebody almost died. Somebody could have died like that ass. And that water was fucking cold. So that's
like,
also.
This was like the winter time then.
Yes, it was wintertime.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was wintertime.
Wow.
Yeah, and so just to like give you a better visual, basically we were walking across a frozen lake to go look at a frozen waterfall that was falling or whatever. And like on our way back, this person got too close to the docks, which are kept unfrozen because they're like wood or whatever. I don't know what the fuck that means, but around the docks is unfrozen. But just because it's unfrozen doesn't mean the water's fucking warm. Like it's cold and this person can't swim. So yeah, it was like it was a huge thing. It was a really, really huge thing. And I kept it to myself. I buried it, other than talking to my mom about it. And yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot because even just had somebody else done that, it would have like, they would have gotten awards and stuff. Like, cause people got like awards in our church for like, so
she's like, I can't even say it. Just like, we're gonna censor that out. We're gonna censor it out, all right? You're just looking at it like, beep.
It's the safe room, okay? I'm speaking my truth. But yeah, so there was a lot. But at the end of the day, I am just really grateful that I had the training, I had the knowledge, and then I was able to just be there and be placed. Because I think about that often. I'm like, what the fuck what would have happened? Like the person that they were with, it was their sibling. Like they didn't know what the fuck to do. They would have ended up in the fucking water with them, So, yeah.
Damn! Wow, that's a lot, but
it's a lot. I know it's a lot.
It's good. It's good. Like we're opening up and we're sharing and everything. I mean, I definitely don't have anything interesting like that. I mean, geez, but
I mean, it's all relative.
Yeah, of course. All right, going on to the final question. What is your personal safe room?
My personal safe room. So my personal safe room would be this space that I have in my house, which is dedicated solely for me. I'm the only one that ever goes in there. I mean, obviously other people can come in, but it's really for me. It's for my art. I create in there. I yell, I scream, I cry. Like anything that needs to happen, it happens in there. And I just feel as though like I don't owe anybody anything.
Right.
I don't have to be Jäjé. I don't have to be JL. I don't have to be anything but a spirit, just observing and just being and just living. That's it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love also you didn't even give a name for it. You didn't even say like, oh, it's my room or like it's just like it's whatever the space needs to be.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, my grandma calls it my office.
It's just like, hey, yo, where's Jäjé? He's like, she's in her office.
You're going in your office now? You're going to do some work? I'm like, yeah, granny. Yeah. So it really is. It is whatever I want it to be when I want it to be that thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I would have done had I not had that space during the pandemic, because it was very instrumental in keeping me sane, in keeping me grounded, and making sure that I just had somewhere to go, like mentally. Right. That wasn't here because we couldn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like we were basically told to be trapped in our houses.
Isolation, basically.
Yeah, it was heavy isolation. I feel like for the first time in the general population's lives, like we felt and understood like what inmates go through, and it's not the exact same thing at all. But just that like confinement and like being told that you really can't go anywhere, that you can't do anything, that these are the things that you can do, and you can only go out during these times or if you have these stipulations. Like it was a lot, and I think we saw how it affected a lot of people in different ways, especially again if you didn't have any sort of outlet, anywhere to just be yourself, anywhere to feel safe, anywhere to just be. So yeah, I think that's like one of the biggest things that I took out of the pandemic was for sure just having a space and being able to create that space, because it doesn't also just have to be physical. Again, like it's really mental, right? It's really, really mental. And so being able to just create space in your mind even. Like that was something that I had to learn how to do. I didn't know
Right.
that I didn't know how to do that, because it was just like all of a sudden, okay, the world is stopped. There's literally nothing to do, nothing to go, nowhere to go, nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that's calling you outside because there's nothing happening outside. So it's like, oh shit, now I can't blame the rest of the world on my problems because my problems are still here.
It's like, damn it.
Oh man. So yeah, that was my long-winded
That's good. That's really good. No, and I definitely like second the whole mental space thing. You know, sometimes like we're so focused on like what's outside there, and like even if depending what's your age, if you're a student going to school, if you're a young adult trying to chase it as like an entrepreneur or whatever you're trying to be, or you're like a grown adult, you know, just going to your workplace. It's just like now you're inside, so there's the time for, you know, realization, reflection, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think if I had a dollar for every time I asked someone, like if they were like an artist or a business person, and they said like, yo, I started in the pandemic because like it helped me kind of clear and figure out what I want to do, bro, like I'd be good. I would be good. Like I would have Bear Bank in my bank account right now. Not even joking right now.
Never have to work a day in your life.
Yeah. I'll be Gucci, smoochy,
Yeah.
but all right, that was terrible. But
okay, we're good.
Yeah. But no, it's so true. The mental space matters so much to us, especially in the society we live today. I'll be honest, like mental health as well. It's not as, you know, prevalent as it was like years ago. Like, and I mean years. I'm talking like even 5 years ago. Like that
True.
was not something that a
No.
lot of people would open up to. So now
No.
that people are starting to look into their mental space and figure out like what makes me happy, what's actually gonna make me feel, you know, I'm at that level of self actualization, you know, confidence as well. So I think that's really important.
Very.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I love that. The segment, like it sounds so much better now in person.
I really do. I'm not gonna lie.
It's hidden, bro. We gotta get to the main question. So,
Yes.
yeah, like so. Again, you're an artist, and
Sí.
there's okay. ¿Tú hablas español?
Sí.
Okay, I love it. So, yeah, you express such creativity, and like, again, we're seeing it right now, and a lot of freedom, but there's also moments we got to prioritize mental health. So I feel like that was a great transition going to this next part. So, I guess we can extend a bit. So how did you use your open space or your space? Because we did talk about what is your safe room, and it is that space that you created. So how do you use that open space to, you know, really exemplify like your personality traits, that's parts of you that's like, wow, like, you know, she could be funny, she could be sad, quirky, depends, you know. So how do you use that space to your own potential?
I think a big thing for me is not being confined to having it be one thing. That's really what helps for me personally, because I've done so many different types of art for my whole life. I realized that, for instance, I may not want to be a professional dancer in the way that I know that to be true, because I danced at a really high level for like pretty much up until the end of high school.
Okay.
And had the ability to like start making money as a dancer like professionally.
There we go. I
Again.
like that. Yeah.
So when I came out of high school, I had the ability to go into the field right away and make money and all that really good stuff. But I just felt like dance is so sacred to me that I don't want to make money off of it. And I didn't want to compromise the way that I felt about dance for money. So I didn't go into dance. But even though I don't dance, well, let me not say that because I still dance professionally. But even though I don't dance in that way, like I'm not necessarily with a company or anything like that,
Right.
I realize that I still need to dance. Like I still have to dance.
Okay.
So in that space, I dance like at least like a couple minutes every day, even if it's not necessarily like the way that I used to, like with all the technique and all that stuff. I still dance.
Because you were giving me dance vibes as well. Like the first time I met you, I'm like, she looks like she does dance and everything. Yeah. So what type of dance you do? Like with the different styles, like modern and everything.
Yeah. So I started off with ballet at the age of I think it's like three. So I started off with ballet at 3. Then at 10, I started doing Lamone technique, which is like a form of modern. And then into high school, I experimented with jazz, a little bit of lyrical / contemporary. And so those are like the main styles that I've done. I do a little bit of hip hop, you know, like a rude gal kind of thing. But like that stuff I didn't train in. Like that's just stuff that I learned how to do on my own. But my classical training is 100% ballet and modern training.
No, that's amazing that you have that space. Just like, you know what, I'm gonna dance. Just feel open to just express my emotions. And I feel like, again, sometimes with dance, you know, everyone has their own way of expressing it. But I think it's also having that confidence to just kind of not worry about what anyone thinks about like dancing as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so important.
For me, you know that whole like idiom where it's like dance like nobody's watching? I try to live my life like that, but not just in terms of dance, it's just in terms of everything. Like the way that I dress, the way that I carry myself, the music that I make, the art that I make, you know, I try to like, yes, people are going to be watching, and yes, you know, I want people to enjoy my shit, but it's really for me. Like, I dance for me. I sing for me. I rap for me. I make poetry because of me. These are my lifelines. Like, if I don't do these things, I will literally curl up like a damn flower and, like, I will fall. I will fall to the wayside. Child, I'll be
don't worry.
Rose petal dust.
We'll be there to pick you up. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Of course.
But, yeah, no. So, for me, it's just having the space to do those things and allowing myself to do those things. And also just knowing, like, it's okay to not make money off of this thing, or it's okay to actually make money off of this thing, or, you know, because for me, I'm so creative minded that I really hate having to attach money to anything. But I'm like, this is my life, and I'm not trying to do this for free forever. So
yeah, of course. of course. So you mentioned a couple things. Yes. Like you said you do like poetry, rap as well. So like, when did that start for you?
Poetry started actually grade 5. I started writing poetry in grade 5, and it started because we had a class exercise, and I'm pretty sure it was like about polar bears, and so fucking random. It was about polar bears, and I'm pretty sure my teacher had asked us to write a poem about the polar bears or what it was like to be a polar bear, because like the ice caps are melting or whatever. So it was like some kind of like environmental whatever woo woo. And one of the lines that not woo woo, but you know. And so one of the lines I said was, why would you build yourself up to knock yourself down? And like my classmates were like, they were all like, they're losing it. They're like, holy shit. Because I mean, respectively, I'm in grade 5, which is I'm 11. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm a church kid. Yeah. I'm 11. You're a church kid, so it's not like I've heard that like in a song or somewhere. Or, like you know what I mean? Like that was just something that you know I came up with or was given to me by the ethers, as I like to call it. And just having that reaction of all my classmates, I was like, oh fuck. Oh shit.
It's just like, wait a minute, light bulb.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. And I had one classmate specifically, her name is Farnaz, shout out to you. She's really, really dope. She just kept being persistent about like her support in my writing. She would just encourage me. And so I started, you know, writing here and there, making poems here and there. And then by the time it was like grade 7, I got like really, really into it. So I bought myself like a journal, and I would write my poems, like the good versions of my poems in there. And I had like different colors and like stickers and stuff. Like it was a whole thing. I still have this book. Yeah. I just started like writing, and then that evolved into me making a song in like grade 7 or 8. And the crazy part about it is like, I made that song. I think I sung both of them for a couple of my friends, but sometime in 2020 or 2021, I had gone to Shoppers, and Farnaz, the girl I just talked about, she was like working there, and we hadn't seen each other probably since I had started university, because we just randomly saw each other like one day.
Right.
When I went to Shoppers, she dead ass sung that song back to me, like that song from like grade 7.
Wow.
And she sung the melody. She remembered the words. Like I literally have chills talking about this, because I'm like, that is love. Like, this woman doesn't owe me anything, like, has never owed me anything. Like, you know, it's not to say that we're, like, such close friends. Like, obviously, when I see her, it's love. But we don't talk on a day-to-day basis. So, for the fact that, like, I wrote that shit in grade 7, and it stuck with you to the point where you could, like, regurgitate that shit back to me in my face.
Yeah, that is love. That's love.
That's love.
Bro, and listen, that's the type of inner circle you want too. When you have your friends, like you mentioned, your friend support you after that, you know, that whole polar bear stuff, and it's just like from there. And here's the thing too, like and this is not to even like put any generalization. When you're in 5th grade, you ain't thinking about stuff like that. You're like,
No.
you're thinking about, what's on TV tonight?
Deadass.
It's just like,
what Cartoon Network saying?
what we played at recess.
Deadass. What that Uno do?
Exactly. So, the fact that she was like, nah, like,
Yeah.
you got something. Like, I'm gonna support you.
Yeah.
That's amazing, bro. Because
Honestly.
everyone needs that inner circle that builds you up. Even from the times where it's like, listen, I don't want to just be like that yes person. Like, if there's something that needs to be fixed, I'm gonna tell you. Like, I'm gonna tell you in a constructive way. I ain't gonna be mean about it.
No.
But it's just like, listen, like, I think it's great, but here's what you need to tweak. Here's what you need to improve on.
Absolutely.
And that's amazing. That's really amazing.
Yeah. And I never really took in how lucky I was to even have somebody like that in my proximity until she sang it back to me. Like, I was like, wow, like, I am so honored, grateful, like, blessed to have this be a thing. Like, grade 7, and it wasn't even like a great song or whatever. It's like a cute little song. Like, I had a crush on some boy like I went to like church camp with or whatever.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, drama.
Baby, it's always drama with the church camp kids. Always.
Wow.
Yeah. So we church camp or whatever, and I was like super smitten with him, and I came back, and during the year I had written that song.
Wow.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Listen. I love that. Like, see, for me, like, your relationship with your friend, it's what I had with my best friend Kevin, which we were here just a couple of days ago, guys. By the way, I was that person that was so persistent in terms of like, hey, you need to do something, because like he's so good at basketball. Like, I'm telling you, like, if he really put his mind to, the man would be in the league right now, legit.
Right.
But like, he had his own path, and I just had to respect it. But one thing I can say about him is that he was. Anytime I posted a piece of content, podcast for it, this guy was the first one to like it. I would honestly tell this man all the different things I would post before anyone else would. Whatever you would know, it's just like, like, so it's like that is love, having that, community or that friendship or that family. Yeah. That's a great way of like looking at it, where you know something you're doing, it matters.
Absolutely.
It absolutely matters. So like, absolutely. I love to see people like that. I feel like, yes, you can get to where you need to get as a person, like one, but I think when you have that supporting cast, that really shows like, the work you're doing, it's really phenomenal.
Yeah. It hits different when you're loved, and where you can see that manifested in the physical.
Right.
But that said, it's also okay. It's all right if you don't got people that support you, because listen, that might not be their role. You know what I mean? Like, we all want all of our friends to like constantly like our shit or repost or whatever, but sometimes your friend's role in your life is really just to be your friend,
and listen,
and not necessarily your supporter, and like, that's okay.
And listen, I'm gonna take a quote from Khalil. We actually had him on the podcast a couple weeks back. He said, "If you can support me, just love me from a distance."
There we go.
And then, like, that's okay, bro. It's like, listen, I know people today that weren't even like my best of best friends, and I don't even like using the term best friends, because it's like, bro, like, best friends is just like all you are, like, you're in my inner circle. That's what I would say, because a circle that can expand. Best friend, you're just so definitive. It's like, it's one person, like, everyone's in my inner circle. But then also I have inner circles, like a little smaller circles that kind of go into it.
Levels to this shit,
right? You know when people look at the vortex, like, that's how I represent it.
No, like, actually though, like, for real though.
Exactly. So like, sometimes like I'll have people that I know from my middle school, high school days, and it's like they're not involved with what I do, but like I'll invite them to something. It's just like, hey, you could come out. I appreciate it. And they're like, yeah, like that's the love it from a distance, And if they need me to come out for something, I try my best to come out as well, And then I had that smaller circle that's like, all right, they're there with me behind the scenes, like actually giving me the advice, telling me what I need to do. So like that's basically what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's right to cut people off unless like the relationship that you guys have might need to step aside, and that's okay.
Yes, yeah. There's like other outlying issues as well that all kind of contribute to the sum.
Exactly. But I definitely think if you're able to love people from a distance, like, you're good. So, wow, I feel the positivity in the room. It's so
I know.
great.
I think we're just like bouncing off each other. It's so great. I love it.
Guys, come on.
I love it. This is so much better than online. I'm just saying.
Listen, guys.
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to go out more. And again, the whole long-term vision, Safe Room Studios. That's the vision.
Come on, speak
That's the
Into
vision.
existence.
It's coming. It's coming
Into
sooner or later.
existence. It's coming. It's here. It happened.
Yes,
Done.
bro.
We see it.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's go on to the next question.
Yeah.
So, through the various performances, networking events, you've done a lot, bro.
Yeah.
But I did want to ask, like, what is the one piece of advice like you learned from like meeting people, collaborating with others, whether it's been through those events, through those performances? Like, what is one thing that you kind of took away as a tidbit? And it doesn't have to be something specific. It could just be something you heard, maybe something you saw that you kind of turned into like, I'm going to kind of apply this into what I do, not completely, but as like motivation.
Wow. I thought of a couple different things. So for one this is definitely cliche, but like, keep going. It's really easy, and this is my second one, to compare yourself to people, but don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fucking do that. Because your journey is so unique and so special and so curated for you that you don't even want what other people have, quite frankly, because it's just not a fit for you. Right. It's not that it's not great for them, but it's just not for you. So keep going. Don't compare yourself. And third thing, I would definitely say is take the risk.
Love it.
Take the risk. And I will expand by saying in 2019, I took a couple different risks, but one of them 100% changed the entire course of my life. And it started with literally me. I got invited to go to an open mic, and it was at Poetry Cafe.
Oh,
Spadina.
Yeah.
All right, so it was an open mic there. And my friend invited me and ended up not being able to go. But something in me was just like, I should go. I had work. Didn't book off work.
Man, screw work, bro.
No, but then them times it couldn't be.
Listen, self-care is the best care, okay? Listen, hey, boss man, like, look, I put in 30 hours already. Listen, 5 hour won't make a difference, right? Look. No, but for real, everyone. No, but for everyone, for real, go chase that bag.
Well, okay, yes, chase that bag, but again, not at the expense of
right.
yourself,
Yeah,
right?
obviously, yes, chase the bag, but listen, know yourself.
Right. And so it really was fuck that shit, fuck that work shit. And I said, I hated doing this because at that point I was in university, and that was like one of 3 jobs, or I had 2 or 3 jobs at that point just to pay for university because I wasn't on OSAP.
Right.
And so it was like, it's not like I could afford to miss that shift. Like, I needed that money. I needed that money. In the short term, I needed that money. But something just told me, I was like, I'm going to have to say fuck this shit. And I called in sick. My shift started at 4:30, and I was like, 4 o'clock, I'm like, fuck it. I'm calling in. Called in sick. Called up like 2-3 of my friends. And I was like, hey, like, do you guys want to come to an open mic? I'm going to be performing tonight. Cool. Great. We roll up. We get there. When we get there, I see this artist who I'd seen at a couple other open mics. And when I tell you, I was just so enamored with his artistry, the way that he was on stage and the way that he could just work a crowd. And like, even the very first time I had performed at an open mic, my poetry, like in front of like a room full of people, it was an open mic that he was at. And afterwards he came up to me and he was like, you have a really like amazing way with words, like keep going. So just like seeing him there, I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
So do you know who the artist was?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You'll get that at the end. All right. Come on.
Because I'm like, we're going to hear a name.
I
like it. No, I like your storytelling development. Listen, if anyone knows me, listen, if I'm watching a show, TV, anything, I care about the story and the character development more than all the big flashing ambiance. All right. So keep going.
Exactly. So he recognizes me from the other performances that I had done. And he was just like, oh, like, are you performing tonight? And I was like, yeah, are you? And he was like, yeah, I'm the headliner. And I was like, oh.
It's like, my bad. I'm not worthy. All right.
I was like, oh shit. And it was crazy because I looked at the poster, but I didn't see his name on there. Whatever. Doesn't matter. So, and like he was performing like after the intermission, and I performed before, right before the intermission. So I performed or whatever. Cool. At the intermission, he comes up to me and he was like, I didn't know you could sing. He goes, I didn't know you could sing.
It's like, ma'am?
He's like, we need to work together. And I was like, my jaw was literally on the fucking floor. I was like, what? You want to work with me? Like,
But like I feel like just to jump in for a bit, it's just
Yes.
like stuff like that. Again, we have every right to be shocked and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like because you just think to yourself, listen, I'm just kind of going there just to check things out. And next thing you know, if you take that risk, like you mentioned before,
yep.
people want to work with you. People see
Yeah.
that gift, and I think that's what's so great about artists and creators, especially in the community that we have. It's like we are all trying to support each other because we're all trying to like achieve what we're trying to do.
Yes.
You know, we're not all doing this because it's
Yes.
like, oh, we're all cutthroat and everything. Like, this is not
No.
like business where like everything's about, oh, what's the bottom line? Like, we're trying to
Right.
outsell everyone.
Right.
Like, everyone's trying to build up each other. So,
Yeah.
like, again, stuff like that for you at the moment was shocking, but for him, it's like, I mean, don't you want to be recognized? Don't you want to be like shown?
Right? Well, I mean, yes, absolutely. But the thing for me that was like, this happened and this was like, this was March. This happened in March. My first time performing my poetry in front of a room full of people was January. So I was like, I wasn't expecting that. You know what I mean? And like, I just wasn't expecting it. Like, I just
Right.
was like, and again, because I just had seen the way that he worked. Like, have you ever been to Dead Poet?
Dead Poet?
Did you ever go to
I
that?
have not had the chance.
I'm
in the
not sure
future.
if they're still operating, but when they were pre-Panny, it was like, do you know where the Drake Hotel is?
Yes.
So I think it was like the ballroom or something like that. That room easily fits like at least 100, 150, maybe 200 people.
Yeah.
Easy.
Mm-hmm.
That room was fucking packed. And he is just working the crowd and doing his thing. And so just like to be recognized by somebody like that, I felt so seen and so validated. And I was just like so excited. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, yes, like let's work. Like what? Of course. And he was like, okay, like we're going to talk. I'm just got to do something and then we're going to talk. So, you know, he went to do
Okay.
his thing. And then before intermission was over, he came outside and we talked, we chopped it up. And he was like, listen, I'm leaving to go to Germany in 4 days.
It's like, bruh. It's like, you know, when you're in a boxing match and like you're just they hit you with the haymaker and you're just like, you don't even fall down yet. You just kind of get stunned and then it's like you fold over.
So he goes, I'm leaving to go to Germany in 4 days. I'm gonna be back, but I'm not gonna be back for a couple, like maybe a month or I'm not sure. So when are
Yeah.
you free in the next 4 days? And I was just like my mind was just like racing. I'm like, school, work,
It's like,
school,
fam, I'm
work,
trying to finish
family,
an
school,
exam
work,
right now.
family, exams, all of these different things, like midterms, like there's so much shit
Right.
like just flowing through my head. I just said, I work and I have a lot of things to do, but like, just give me times and I will try to make it work. That's all I said. I said, just give me times. I'll try to make it work. He's like, okay, cool. Can you meet me Saturday? This is a Thursday, by the way. I remember this
Right.
shit clear as day. It was a Thursday when we met. Like we connected
Very
like that.
detailed oriented. I love that.
And so we met we connected on the Thursday in that way. And then we met up on the Saturday and we went to his like little, he's like a studio, like a home studio.
Right.
And, you know, so we're just like feeling each other out in terms of like, you know, like where each other's at. And like, you know, he was asking me, so like, what's going on in your life right now? Like, that was like the first thing he asked me. He's like, what's going on? Like, where are you at? And I just feel like I'm becoming and just like transforming and becoming somebody who I want to be and who I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, I like that. Put a pin in that. I'm like, okay, cool. So we start talking like again, just like about more stuff, just a little bit about him. He gives me a little bit of backstory about his life, how, you know, he ended up in Canada because he wasn't Canadian. He was actually South African, raised in Germany, and then moved to Toronto to start his music career like maybe 3 or 4 years before I had met him. And I was just like, again, like I was just like listening to everything that he had to say. He was just so knowledgeable just about like the music industry and just so like he was just literally, this is like the first meeting.
I'm just trying to put the pieces who
Yeah.
you're talking about because you said
I know.
You know,
I know.
It's like guess the person with these facts, and I'm like, okay, South
And
Africa.
I'm dropping the facts like very like it's giving
You're
Where's Waldo.
teasing me.
Of
Just like
course.
just drop the name already.
Yeah. And so that meeting that we had on the Saturday was maybe about 4 hours in total. And the first 2 hours is we spent just like getting to know each other. And again, like just figuring out where we were both at respectively. After that, you know, we settled on the whole becoming theme. And he was like, okay, cool. Makes the beat in front of my fucking eyes.
Yeah, it's just
makes a like literally from scratch makes a beat in front of my fucking eyes. I'd never seen some shit like that before. I was like
no, shout out to all the musical engineers, and that's a gift. That's a gift right there.
And what I also appreciated is like as he's doing stuff, he's explaining it to me. Like this shit's going over my head, but he's explaining it to me. So he's like, I'm using the samples from here and I'm doing this. Or then when we started recording, he was, recording in Pro Tools, and he was like, okay, so like when you start recording, you have to arm the track. And then when you do this, you do this, or blah, blah, blah. And like that's stuff that I actually took with me and used actually.
Right.
And so it was just a really beautiful experience. He made the beat. Then we recorded in his actual closet, like literally, like his clothes is like.
I know exactly what you mean. Like you gotta clear all the space so the head sound and everything.
Oh no, the closet had clothes in it, but I think though that helps with the sound absorption or something. Yeah.
That's what it is.
So yeah, we recorded in his closet, and then that was that. And I didn't think that there was gonna be anything else to come of it because again he was leaving, but he mastered it I think by the next day.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, on Sunday he was like, hey, are you free on Monday, because I want to shoot like a little video for it. I'm gonna get like my friend to shoot it with me, and it was like him and his friend that shot it.
Yeah.
And I had work that day, but I had work at like 5:30 or something like that.
Okay, so you had some time to squeeze.
So we had some time during the day. So I was like, okay, we're gonna squeeze it in during the day, and we're gonna do the shit guerrilla style. And I like made sure I asked my mom. I'm like, Mommy, like, can you play? I'm like, Mommy, can you play Uber today? Because I need to get around today, and it's time sensitive. And my mom is just a really amazing, lovely woman. So she jumped up and. She made sure that I got there on time, made sure that she picked me up. She picked us up. We actually had to go to a different location. She picked us up, took us to the different location, waited until we were done, and then literally zoomed me over to work.
Right.
And I just remember, and we shot it in and around Spadina town, and then the second location was Liberty Park, whatever the heck.
Liberty? I'm not sure.
Something somewhere in Liberty Village, like one of those parks up there.
Liberty Village? I'm not sure. No.
Somewhere around there. It was a park up there. And I got to work, and I just remember being like, oh my God, this is what Batman feels like. I was just like, oh my God, like I'm a superhero. And this is exactly the life that I want to live. Like, I don't give a fuck that I got to be at work right now. Like, I just shot a music video for the first time. Like, I came so out of my shell. That was not something, like, we were on the street with a speaker and like a camera, and people are walking by. That was so uncomfortable for me. Even though I'm a performer, like that wasn't something that I had ever been tasked to do with. So it was like, I'm people are watching me, and like people are like listening, and there's people like running up.
I'm not ready for this. I'm not built like the others.
I said that, and Wiz snapped me right the fuck out of that shit. He said, he basically told me like, you're made for this. Like, this is your time. This is your moment. Like, you move with the camera. The camera is here for you. You're not here for the camera.
I like that.
You know what I mean? That. And he just really, so what I really appreciate about him is that he really just like took the time. He took the time. Like, he didn't get upset with me. He didn't try to rush me or make me feel as though I have to do something I don't want to do. Like, there was never, it was very much just like, what is the energy that we are both bringing, and how can we amplify it and create something beautiful with it? That was like the entire process. And for me, that was like the greatest thing ever.
Wow.
Yeah. And then just like that, he left to go to Germany, and when he came back, he was fucking famous.
I'm still trying to figure out who this person is.
And if you haven't figured out who it is yet, his name is WiztheMC. And if you don't know him, you better find out. You better fucking find out.
All right.
WiztheMC.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna put that in so people can find that.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm definitely gonna check him out as
absolutely. His music is just, I mean, beyond the music, his character, his drive, like just everything about him is just so inspiring. Truly. And I just feel so grateful to just like been able to have the opportunity to be graced by his presence, if you will. I know that sounds like a little woo-woo and up there, but
let me tell you something. There's a lot of people I wish I could like meet and like connect with. Obviously I remember the first time I got to see Tommy perform live.
Oh,
and like that
yeah,
and like that was like I was legit like, listen, I don't usually go out to like like real like concerts like that. But I always go to like showcases, something smaller, because like I'm not a concert guy that likes to go to the big crowds.
Right.
And like I tell you what, there's not usually an artist that stuns me when they perform. I legit was like, bro, I don't even want to record, because like I remember the first thing they think, like, all right, let me pull out my phone. It's like, fuck that, just like let me just.
Exactly. And that's exactly how I felt when the first time I heard her sing. I was just like, you're just so in tune, and it's just like nothing else matters.
Yeah,
it's like nothing else matters. She's like, come on this journey with me.
Exactly. So I know I feel you, man. But that I love how you pieced that all together. So like, you know, you took the 3 points again, keep going, just whatever inspires you, just keep going. Try not to compare yourself to other people. Like just making sure like you're one of a kind. You were one of a kind, and you should appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So, like, yeah, I love how you took all those pieces together and like you told it in such a like eloquent story as well. Like, no, literally, you had me like guessing. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, where is this going?
Yeah, right.
I love it. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's absolutely amazing. I love that. Okay, I wanted to take a quick intermission just to kind of discuss on anything else that's on your mind. I mean, like, I'm leaving it open to you. I've been asking the question, but maybe there's something you want to talk about. I think that might be the most hard-hitting question so far. Just like, you're letting me speak now?
I'm like, you want me to leave? You want me to take the mic?
It's just like, you messed up. You messed up. Like, I'm about to go off.
I mean, there's so many things to talk about. There's so many things.
I mean, yeah, there is.
There's a lot. I mean, fuck. Where do you want to fucking start? Do you want to start with interpersonal shit? Do you want to start with the world at large? Like,
I mean, since we're speaking world stuff, if you're very aware about Mr. John Tory, aka Mr. Scandalous.
Yeah.
I heard right now the by-election's planned for June, but I mean, what was your initial reaction when you saw that?
Oh God. Okay, so here's the thing. This is gonna be so.
She's like, hold on, let me catch my breath. Just like, wait, you didn't have to ask that, Sean. Come on now.
Listen, this is going to be a sticky topic because when it comes to politics,
it's just like I can't keep once my mouth starts to go, like it's
not even that. It's just like there's just so much fuckery. And at this point, I don't expect anything more from them when it comes to fuckery and bullshit. So when I hear things like this happen, I'm like, okay, great. There's a lot of uproar about this, but who's talking about, the Greenbelt? They're trying to shrink that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or it's just like, there's just so many things that are happening that it's like, I mean.
Guys, I left her speechless. I left her speechless.
You left me speechless.
Wow. I'm not going to lie with you. It's like, I don't know what to think about it at first. I like
what do you think about that? Okay, you got caught. You caught him.
Right. But yeah, I think overall what I'm really focusing on is the whole like voter literacy.
Right.
I think that's really important because now that the by-election's coming up, I think people are ready to take a lot of accountability in terms of just how to vote, where to go to. We actually had Amanda Coombs, who ran for city councilor in Ward 7 last year.
Nice.
So we had her on the podcast, and we talked about voter literacy, how, like, even for her, when she was running, she was so surprised that a lot of people didn't know where to go to in terms of, like, the voting maps and everything. Because, like, based on the maps, there's different wards that you can vote for. I almost messed up because I almost voted for someone completely different.
Right.
So,
you have to do your research, and you have to actually, I don't know. I think also the thing about politics that's very discouraging is that a lot of these platforms and parties, they just make really great promises, and then when they actually get into office, it's a completely different story. And from a civilian perspective, I can understand that you can only do so much with the time that you have, with the power that you have, especially in these systems. Like, they're very, I don't know how to say this, not gridlocked, but like it's very like, If you're in this level, like you can only make this much change. If you're here, then you can only make this much change, or you can only affect change here. Like it's
cutthroat.
It's very segmented.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that sentiment because again, like I feel
that's a lot.
The first thing when I heard about the situation was not even about Tory, and everybody's like, okay, what's the by-election looking like?
Right, and it's like, what are we actually voting for? Like, who are we actually voting for? Because you tell us.
Like, yeah, like,
you know?
I feel like it's come to the point, and like it's terrible. Like,
yeah.
It's terrible that I feel like I understand American politics much more than Canadian politics, and it's like I should be like wanting to like really care what's going on, but like isn't me like I feel like there's a election every single year.
Isn't there?
And it's just like, I know there's federal, provincial, and municipal, but even with that, still, it's like, isn't there periods where it breaks and everything? It's just like every year, like there was, obviously now there's the by-election. Last year was the whole, like, what was it, mayor or something like that. The year prior to that, I think that was the federal. Actually, I think 2022 had 2 elections, like the beginning. I think so. It was either that or 2021. Like, I don't remember.
I don't fucking know. It's all a blur. And when it comes to politics, I don't stick my neck in it because I'm like, my God is awesome.
I'm
like, God got it. God got it. Because y'all don't got it, so God got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, for real. But yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm sorry I brought that up. That's just I feel bad. It's like, damn, I should have never mentioned politics.
No. I mean, it's a sticky subject. I'm okay with being upfront about it because I am who I am. But yeah, it. Certain people are very much, you get out there and you vote and, you affect change in the ways that you can, even if it's minuscule. And some people are like, fuck it all. So
yeah,
it just depends on where you fall and what you want to do with your life. I don't fucking know.
Definitely. Okay, here's this. Since we're talking about music as well, I did want to know, like, who are your favorite artists to listen to right now?
That's such a big question. It shifts. Sometimes it's me, because I make music for myself.
And that's an excellent answer. Don't even be unapologetic. Be like, all right, anyone but yourself. Like, no, shut your mouth. It's me.
Nah, it's me. Some days it's me. Like, again, like I really create for myself. And so, like, example, Pretty Pretty, that is a song that was written from the perspective of me talking to my younger self, but also I'm talking to myself now. So I'm appealing to my younger self. I'm appealing to myself now. I'm appealing to my past self. I'm appealing to all layers of myself where this message, could apply. And on the days where I need to hear some shit like, yo, pretty packages are going to bring you trouble and it's okay.
Right.
Or like some people just, they don't have any good intentions for you and like know that, or be mindful of where you get your information from, like whether it like any kind, whether it be like visually or hearing it or, like smelling it or whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, on the days where I need to hear those things that I've said on a track, I'm definitely going to listen to myself. And I'm definitely going to be my favorite artist for sure.
Yeah.
But other than that, I would say growing up, it was definitely Amy Winehouse.
Wow.
There's something about her, and I don't know if it's like the tragedy that is like of her life or the way that it ended or just like how much potential and promise I don't know what it is about her life and her story, but her life, her story, and the music that she curated and created is just always, I don't know, had like a place in my heart.
Yeah.
So definitely definitely Beyonce growing up for sure, in like the popular stuff that I would like hear bits and pieces of. That now I would definitely say people like Summer Walker, people like SZA. I'm trying to think of like who's in my playlist right now. I really like Afrobeats. I don't have like a specific Afrobeats artist that I like per se, but I'm really loving the Afrobeats situation. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I love that, and I noticed that like it's all R&B as well. Like
I guess so. I like to. I call it like sad girl music. I like to make and consume sad girl music, but not all the time. And I'm also like, getting out of that mindset and like thinking about exploring other genres and, other sentiments and modicums of being, because we're not always fucking sad. And not everything has to be sad and doom and gloom and oh this and oh that. So
yeah, I feel you. Yeah. I'm like a crazy book when it comes to genre. I'll be listening to like so much. So like there's R&B that is my favorite, but I also definitely listen to that hip hop as well. Hip hop. Old school, some of the new stuff. And when I say the new stuff, it's more of like the conscious type of hip hop. So like the JIDs, the Denzel Currys of the world.
Fun fact, I got ready in his room.
Really?
He wasn't there, but I did get ready in his room for Manifesto. Like they had like his name on the door and everything, and I was like, not me getting ready in Jit's dressing room.
I love that. But
sorry,
no. I feel you, especially like loving yourself as an artist as well. It's like, see, for me, like I'm not an artist, but I do have like, you know, the theme song for the podcast. It is performed by me.
Okay.
So
you're an artist then.
Well, yeah, it's one.
I
song.
think everybody is an artist.
Yeah, I am an artist, but I'm not like musically like consistent.
Well, that's okay, but you're still an artist.
Yeah, I'm definitely still an artist, but
still creative.
Like I kid you not. So one year, I think it was like in 2021, I believe, I did my top 25 songs of 2021. My number one song was my song, and I told people, I'm like, I'm not apologizing,
as you should not.
Like that is what it is. But I'm like,
why would you?
Yeah, but I feel like having that confidence in yourself and showing that, yo, I appreciate the work that I do. You appreciate yourself as an artist, putting out your music. I appreciate myself with my podcast. We should appreciate ourselves with the things that we do, because if the moment we start like stop appreciating, we're just depreciating our own value.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, like there's this notion like being confident in yourself like that is not humble. It doesn't give humility. It doesn't give no. Just because I understand that my words have impact and I appreciate the words that I have or that I curate have impact, or the things that I do have impact, doesn't mean that I'm pompous. It doesn't mean that I'm big-headed. It means that I see myself.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And never let anybody try to tell you to like put that shit in a box, dumb it down. You're thinking too big. No. You're thinking just right. You're thinking just well. Okay. And you're gonna continue and keep thinking like that, because
I love it.
Yeah, no, it's just no.
I love it. It's so true, guys. Listen, love yourself first. Love yourself, man. It's always important.
Absolutely. And the rest will follow, let me tell you.
Right.
The rest will follow.
I love it. Okay. Yeah, to kind of close things off, I wrote down like manifesting your successes, because I think the biggest takeaway from this conversation, you were someone that's like, listen, I want to do this. I want to perform like at Manifest. I want to perform here. I want to do this. And even taking like, I think manifestation, everyone just assumes that it needs to be something big, or like it needs to be as clear. It could be something that says, you know what? I'm headed to the gym today. You know what?
Listen.
I'm going to read for my personal sake. You know what? I'm going to go to bed like 2 hours early than usual. Stuff like that is manifesting, because that allows you where it goes out to the world. And now it's like that voice keeps reminding you like, hey, well, remember, you got to get to this. Remember, you need to do this.
Exactly.
So like, I feel like that's such an important thing. So like, I just kind of want to ask you, just to close things off, like, what would you tell people when it comes to like, maybe they're starting to get into manifestation and they're trying to figure out like, yo, how do I approach this? Because even I'll admit, when I started manifestation, I'm like, so I just say it and like that's it. Like, what? How do I track this?
Do I sit cross-legged?
Right. It's like do I do like the candles and everything? Like, all right, here goes nothing.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. So I would love to hear from your perspective.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the beautiful thing about manifestation, which I've learned, is that it really there isn't like a set in stone way to do it. You know, some people use crystals, some people pray, some people meditate. Some people don't do any of that shit. When it comes to like specifically manifesto, that was just me putting it out into the universe and believing. And that was all I needed. And really at the core, at the end of the day, what you really need for your manifestations to come true is the belief that you can actually get there and get them. And then you need to actually like take some steps. So no, I didn't go reach out to people from Manifesto and be like, oh, put me on the festival. No, I didn't do that. But I did continue to work, and I did continue to put my blood, sweat, and tears, knowing, like, into my artistry, into, you know, being everywhere around the city and performing and getting my name out there and networking. And to the point where the universe was like, oh, okay, I see that you're willing to actually work for the things that you want. Here, I'm going to line it up so you can have it. But it's really just about the belief that you can get there, and then putting in work and putting in the steps to get there. And the rest, if it's really meant for you, like, the rest will literally follow and fall in line.
I love it, guys. Listen, if y'all did not take that for yourself, come on, like, Josh is just like, yo, I'm gonna put this on a plate, just walk up to you like, here you go. Here you go.
Because we should all be manifesting, and I hate going online and seeing like, it's the new moon, get your crystals, charge them on the window, and take a bath at 22 degrees south. Like, yes, do all that if you need to do those things in order to solidify your belief. Fine, amazing, great, but that is not the only way to manifest, and it's not the only thing that you can do.
Yeah, bro. I manifest. I said, yo, like, let me get here on time. Even though I left like super late, I had a meeting. Like, listen, like my mind like ticks like a bunch of alarm clocks. I was like sitting there in the meeting, and I hear what they're saying, but I'm just like, can you just like hurry up? I'm trying to go.
Shut the fuck up. I've got things to do.
Yo, like
Jäjé is coming.
Yeah, like
Josh, do you know where I'm going after this? Excuse me?
I love it. Nah. But it's true. Definitely the manifestation part. Guys, like, put it out there. Put it out there. And listen, don't try to focus on like it needs to be immediately. All right? Manifestation, it comes when it wants to come. All right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If it was not the case, bro, I already have a studio right now. If it was the case, I wouldn't be in Canada right now. I'd be back in Grenada, back on the island, sipping a pina colada at the beach. If that was the case, but it's like it's cool. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
This was awesome.
Yeah, again, I'm so glad we were able to do this in person.
Yeah.
It was a lot of like ups and downs, like getting to here, and like I do want to share this. So like,
yes, please.
Again, we
testify.
Yeah, we were trying to get this done, online, and then we couldn't. And if anyone knows about me, I am a persistent piece of shit. Like when I see something or like I want to do something, I am. And listen, sometimes my persistence, I use it as my strength, but it is my biggest weakness as well, because like I felt like at one point I was not respecting your space at one time. And like I felt like, I feel like an asshole. And like I know when I do something wrong, I try my best to reconcile and fix it. So again, like I'm glad that I was able to kind of reach out to you. You were and just let you know, like, like that's my bad. Because again, like again, like everything was all planned out for this final stretch, and even then I told myself, you know what, not everything can be perfect, and nothing should be perfect. We want to strive for perfection, but perfection is in the eye of the beholder.
Absolutely.
So like,
absolutely.
Again, I just want to really thank you for understanding, so we were able to come out here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like for me, like, oh my God, I think it was a very necessary test for the both of us for different reasons. But for me, I was like, fuck. Like at the first sign of like anything, because it was just like you were being very persistent, which I appreciated. But then it felt like it was like overbearing. Right. And then it was like, I'm like, child, I got shit to do.
Like, back up. Get off me.
6 feet, motherfucker. I'm like, shit, I gotta leave. I got shit to do. Like, I get that you have your podcast. I get that you have your stuff, and you have an outline, you have time, and everything. Everything is late. Baby. I had to tell him. I had to check him real quick. I said, hello.
It's like what's it called, the King's Madness, you're going crazy and everything, just like I just kind of like puts on the glove, okay, then just smacks you right in the face, just like, we good? It's like, yeah, we go.
Yeah.
But no, again, thank you for coming on the podcast. You're absolutely phenomenal. You're probably, in terms of this final stretch, you had the best energy. You had the best energy for sure.
I mean, being in person definitely helps with that for sure. And just like, even despite all the hiccups, like I just knew, like, oh, that's what I was saying. For me, like my lesson was like not jumping ship, because I'm very like, if I feel disrespected, if I feel like there's I'm gone. I don't think twice about it. I just
yeah.
Got a blast. And so I was just like taking the time, remembering that everybody here is human, like not being so bold and so rash. Like that was definitely my lesson in this. And that was like my test, if you will. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm very glad and grateful to be here and to, have gotten through all that.
Absolutely. Personally, I'm glad this all worked out.
Same.
Where can people find you on social media?
So you can find me on Instagram at Jäjé.art. So that's JAJE.art. You can also find me on TikTok, which is Jäjé Art. There's no dot. I'm on Twitter if you can find me. I'm not gonna tell you my Twitter, but if you can find me, child.
Yeah.
And then I'm on all streaming platforms. My music is out. You can stream Becoming, stream Bunch Erotica. I have new stuff coming out sometime soon.
I'm about to say, like, when the new material coming out?
Honestly, I've been working on new material, probably like all panty. So it's really just a matter of getting it out. And I really, I'm hoping to get you guys at least one like new single. At least one.
Okay.
I have a lot of things planned. We'll see what God lets me put out.
Yeah. I totally understand.
Yeah.
I want to wrap it up because my thing's on low battery.
We gotta
wrap
go.
this up soon. But thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of The Safe Room. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Also check out our YouTube shorts on the Safe Room Podcast YouTube channel. Go check out the website, thesaferoompodcast.com, and subscribe to our newsletter. Hopefully, it's dropping soon. I think from this recording, it should be out. It will be out. I've been behind because February was... Whew. Listen, guys. In this timeline of the TSR universe, last week was definitely one of my most hectic weeks so far this year. It was crazy, but you'll understand why it's coming soon. But yeah, definitely go subscribe to the newsletter if you want to be a guest. You could also fill out the form on the website. Also, go check out the theme song for the podcast, First Lady by yours truly. Apple Music, Spotify. It's on all the platforms. I don't want no excuses saying I didn't mention it. Okay? All right?
Period.
Of course. Thank you again to Jäjé. Thank you to everyone listening. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.